The first thing I'd like to share is that we were at Bible College in Scotland, in Glasgow, and there was a small Christian fellowship that used to have a communion service on a Sunday morning, and I wanted to be there, and I used to go to this communion service, and there were some young men who used to serve, used to take the wine and the bread to the people, and I didn't know these people. I mean, that was the only time I went to this service, was on a Sunday morning at the same time. I didn't really know the people, but I wanted to be there at the Lord's table. And when I was in Bible College, of course, BTI wasn't very far from there. Then one lunchtime, there was a message sent to me from our office. The college office was on the ground floor. The college itself went up 6 floors. So there was a message sent to me that I was wanted in the office. Would I go? And I didn't know who wanted to see me. I didn't know anybody there in Glasgow. I was still new, but they said I was needed. So I went there, and there was this young fellow, and I recognised him straight away. I didn't know his name. I didn't know anything about him, apart from the fact I remembered his face, because he was one of these young men that used to give out the bread and the wine at that service. So he shook hands and he said, can we find a place to talk? And we did. And he said, I hope you don't mind me asking, but I wanted to ask you what size shoes you wear. I said, oh, that's all right. Yes, I wear a size 8 shoes. And he said, oh, and he sort of sigh of relief. He said, well, the next question is, well, he told me, he said, I have a rather difficult foot, I have a very high instep, and I can never go to a shop and buy a pair of shoes and they fit me completely. So he said, we've had such trouble over it. I go to a special shop where they will measure it, the instep, and they make the shoe to size. He said, and I've had a pair of shoes made, and when I went to put them on, I couldn't wear them. They still wouldn't fit me. And he said, what do I do with a pair of shoes like that? He said, then I thought of you. I don't know why he should have thought of me, but he thought of me, and he said, I thought I'd come and ask you what size shoes you wear. So when I said it was the same size, he said, well, would you mind if I bring them in tomorrow or whenever it was, and you try them on? I said, not at all. So the next day he brought these shoes into me, and I tried them on. Perfect fit. I've never had a pair of shoes that fit me so well, and they were lovely shoes. They were handmade shoes, real leather, handmade, and they were handmade to measure, but to this man's measurement, but they fit me. So it's quite wonderful. So I was very grateful to them, and then I didn't wear them straight away, but we were at that time planning our wedding, and we began to think about it, and I thought, well, that'd be a nice pair of shoes to wear on our wedding day, which is what we had. So my shoes on our wedding day were made to measure before I knew it would be needed, and made to measure with the measurements we didn't know. It was quite wonderful. So that's just a little illustration. God providing. He doesn't always do that, but I've had a lot of stories about shoes later in our time there, and I had some boxes delivered to me, boxes of shoes, which of course we could pass on to anyone, which we did in fact, but these boxes of shoes were all size 8. So I had plenty to choose from for myself. The same actually applied to another item. I find it difficult getting trousers to fit me. I usually have to have them altered anyway, but to have the waist and the length to be reasonable for me to wear is very difficult. The same thing happened there. I had some trousers delivered, new ones. I think they were in boxes, I'm not sure. This is some years ago, of course. But they were definitely there, new trousers. And they were all my size, all my size. So I had to pass them on to other people that I knew something like that, how God meets the need. But I do believe that if we are in the will of God, we are serving Him, and our need is because we are being stretched. But I think for every Christian, we ought to always be prayerful about our needs and make the difference between what our needs and our wants. We don't think God doesn't supply everything, the latest fashion and so on, but if we're trusting Him, He will meet the need. And I've seen that happen in every way. We were talking here about clothing in particular, but we'll go on at another time about housing and all sorts of things that go with that. God does, He keeps His promise. And we have that word in Philippians chapter 4 verse 19. My God shall supply every need of yours according to His riches in glory by Christ Jesus.